You're the only one in the room who hasn't seen it. Everyone's talking about the finale, the twist, the character's death that broke the internet. They're laughing at inside jokes you'll never understand, and you smile, you nod, you pretend. But inside, you're calculating how long until you can leave without being rude. This is what it costs to opt out. Let me tell you what nobody admits. When you don't watch Netflix, when you don't stream, you're not missing out on content. You're missing out on connection. There's a conversation happening without you, a shared language you don't speak. And the worst part, most people don't even realize they're excluding you. They mention a show. You say you haven't seen it. They say, oh my God, you have to watch it. You say you probably won't. The energy shifts. Now you're the weird one. Here's what happens next. They stop inviting you to things, not maliciously, not consciously. You're not being punished. You're being forgotten because streaming isn't about entertainment anymore. It's about belonging. A 2025 Pew Research study found that 83% of people watch streaming services in some capacity. Over half stream exclusively. That means if you're not streaming, you're already in the minority, and minorities get marginalized even in friendships. The isolation isn't dramatic, it's slow. It's death by 1,000 have you seen conversations. You stop being part of the cultural conversation. You stop getting the references. You stop being relevant. Here's the part nobody talks about. When you say, I don't watch Netflix, people make assumptions. They assume you're pretentious, that you think you're better than them, that you're one of those, I don't own a TV, people who make everyone feel small for enjoying things. Or they assume you're poor, that you can't afford $15 a month. If something is embarrassing in your life they shouldn't ask about. Or, and this one cuts deepest, they assume you're broken, that you can't commit to anything, that you have no attention span, that something is wrong with you. The truth is usually simpler and more painful. You don't stream because you've seen what it does to people. You've watched friends cancel plans to binge a season. You've seen relationships dissolve because one partner couldn't stop watching. You've read the research, binge-watching linked to depression, anxiety, and social isolation, and decided you want no part of it. But you can't say that. Because then you sound judgmental. Then you're the one making people feel small. So you stay quiet. You let them assume what they want. And you carry the weight of being misunderstood by everyone who claims to care about you. Let's talk about the actual choice. Every night you have the same option. Open the laptop, press play, join the conversation tomorrow. It would be so easy, but something stops you. Maybe it's control, you know yourself. You know you'll lose 3 hours to something you'll barely remember. You know the autopilot kicks in, and the next episode starts before you've processed the last one. You've seen the Chicago study. Autoplay designed to override your choice, to keep you watching when you meant to stop. Maybe it's time. You have things you want to do with your life, books to read, skills to build, conversations to have. You've done the math. 3 hours a night is 45 days a year. You're not willing to sign that away. Maybe it's identity. You refuse to become someone whose personality is the shows I watch. You've met those people. They're empty. Their entire conversational arsenal is references to other people's creativity. But here's the brutal part. The world isn't built for you anymore. Work conversations, TV references, dating apps, what's your favorite show, family gatherings. Everyone's watching something together while you sit on your phone. You're not protesting. You're not making a statement. You're not better than anyone. You're just choosing differently, and you're paying a price nobody sees. This is the hardest part to admit. You're lonely. Not because you don't have people. You have friends, family. A life that looks fine from the outside, but there's a disconnect, a gap, a space where shared experience should be. You see it at parties. Everyone's laughing about something from a show. You're standing there, smiling, waiting for the moment to pass. You feel it on dates. They ask what you're watching. You say nothing. The conversation stalls. You can see them recalibrating, wondering what's wrong with you, whether you're worth the effort. You notice it with family. Your partner wants to cuddle and watch something. You say you'd rather talk. They feel rejected. You feel misunderstood. Nobody's at fault. That's what makes it hurt. Streaming became the default, the background, the thing everyone does together. And if you don't do it, you're not rejecting content. You're rejecting intimacy. That's what it feels like to them. Your refusal to watch isn't about time management or mental health. It's personal. It's a rejection of the way they connect. And you can't explain your way out of that. Let's get brutally honest about why you really don't stream. It's not just about time, or addiction, or even the research. It's about fear. You're afraid of becoming like them. You've watched people lose themselves in content. You've seen personalities flatten into collections of references. You've noticed the way conversations shrink to what's trending and never expand to what matters. And you're terrified that if you start, you won't stop. You don't trust yourself with the autoplay, the algorithm. The endless scroll of content is designed to keep you passive, so you choose control over connection. But here's the part that hurts. You're probably right to be afraid. The research supports you. Studies show binge-watching is linked to increased depression, anxiety, and stress. People who watch excessive TV report lower life satisfaction and higher anxiety. The dopamine loops are real. The addiction pathways are real. You're making a healthy choice, but healthy choices can still be lonely ones. Here's what the streaming era took from everyone, including you. It took boredom, the kind of boredom that leads to creation, to thought, to the uncomfortable but necessary confrontation with yourself. People used to sit in silence, with their own minds, with nothing to consume. Now they don't. And because they don't, the culture shifted. Shared stillness became weird. Reflection became uncomfortable. The ability to just be without a screen became suspicious. You kept that ability. But you lost the company. That's the trade-off nobody warned you about. When you opt out of streaming, you opt out of the dominant coping mechanism of our time. The thing people do to avoid their thoughts, their feelings, their lives. You're facing everything they're escaping. That makes you stronger, more self-aware, more present. It also makes you alone, because most people would rather be numb than feel, watch than think, consume rather than create. And they don't know what to do with someone who chose differently. Let me tell you what your choice actually costs. Social capital. You lose easy conversation starters. You lose the shared language that bonds groups. You lose the ability to participate in the most common form of modern socialization, dating options. I don't watch TV is a filter. Some people will see it as a green flag. Many will see it as a red one. You've narrowed your pool and not always toward quality, family connection. Your parents watch TV. Your siblings stream. Your partner probably does too. Every time you opt out, you're creating distance. Micro-separations that add up. Cultural literacy. You will miss references. You will not understand memes. You will be confused by jokes. You will feel out of touch because you are. None of these is catastrophic, but they're cumulative, and they matter. You made a choice. A good one probably, a healthy one, but choices have consequences. And the consequence of opting out is standing outside the conversation everyone else is having. So here's my question for you. Is the connection you're missing worth the control you're keeping? Drop your answer in the comments. Subscribe if this hit different. See you there.